Hi everyone, welcome back to my second PHP tutorials where I'll be showing you how you can install a local server, on your system where you will be using to practice and coding PHP files. Okay, in my previous videos I forgot to show you some things or to tell you what PHP can do, and I'll use a short minute or probably a little time to explain that before I go into the main tutorial proper. Okay, first of all, you need to know what PHP can do. PHP can generate dynamic page content. Now, you've been saying websites that are static. All you do is just read through the informations. Now, dynamic page content is a kind of a content where you type in datas, and probably when you submit it, something happens, or probably it tells you you've done something. Okay, and PHP can create, open, read, write, and delete datas files on the server. You can create files, you can open files on the server, you can read files on the server, write files on the server, delete files from the server, and also close files on the server. PHP can also collect from data. When you fill the form, you submit it, the information that is sent to a database or sent to email. PHP script can get those data for you, save them in a database, and stuff like that. PHP can also send and receive cookies. Cookies are little packets of data that your browser uses to remember things. You're logged in or logged out. Okay, alright. PHP can also be used to control user access, the login and logouts of websites. Now, for example, you want to log into Facebook, it will grant you access if the information you saved, you key into the login form, is the same as what is on the database. Okay, and PHP can also encrypt datas, and decrypt data. You all know what encrypting and decrypting of data is like. Making data accessible. For example, you want to send an information to someone anywhere, and you don't want that information to be seen by people. You can encrypt it, send it to the person. The person will now decrypt and open the data and have access to those data. Okay, with PHP you are not only limited to output HTML. You can output images, PDF files, and even Flash movies. You can also output any text such as XHTML and XML. Yeah. Okay. Why do we need to learn PHP? We have other languages, scripting languages like ASP.NET, and lots of them. A good example of why we should learn PHP is because PHP run on various platforms, on Windows, Linux, Unix, Mac OS, etc. It can run anywhere. It can run on on your laptop, computers, anywhere. Okay, PHP is also compatible with almost all the servers like MySQL. All the servers, like, sorry, MySQL is not a server, it's a database, and Apache, and lots of others. PHP also supports a wide range of databases like MySQL, even Oracle, SQLite, different databases. But the one I'll be working with mostly all the time. Even I want to deal with database now, it will be MySQL. PHP is free to download, and that's what we'll be doing from now, and it's easy to learn. It's very easy to learn. It's just simple. The syntax are clean and nice, and no much writing of codes to achieve a lot of things. It's very easy. It's very easy. That's what we'll be doing in a moment. Okay, first of all, let's download and install a local server Apache, and we have a lot of them. We have Xampp and we have WAM. What I'll be working on, I'll be using is Xampp. You might try to find out how WAM is and compare them, and anyone that's convenient for you or you prefer, you use. Okay, let's try to download Xampp and install, because without that we won't be able to write PHP, write and view PHP files, because like I told you earlier on, that PHP is a server-side scripting language. It only runs on the server. It is executed on the server, and the result is shown on the browser. So without a server, you can't view PHP files. You can your PHP file cannot be executed. Okay, like most of you have already you already have a host where you host your websites, and most of the website, 99% of all the hosts are PHP enabled. So all you have to do is just create some PHP file, place them in your web directory, and the server will automatically pass them for you. You do not need to compile anything or install any extra tool on your server, main server where you host your website. PHP, like I told you, PHP is free. Most web hosts offer PHP support. Yeah, it's free. So most of the 99% of web hosts companies or sites, they have PHP activated. Okay, now how can you install or and set up PHP on your own PC? First of all, you need to install a web server. Now, like I told you, Xampp. Wow. Okay. Now, what I will be working on, and the Apache or the web server I will be working on, is Xampp. Like I told you, we also have WAM. Let me try to open this in a new tab and type WAM. WAM. You can also check that out and try to see which one you like to always use. But for now, I'll be dealing on Xampp. Okay. Now we have download here for other versions. We have Xampp for Windows version 5.6.14 with PHP 5.6 version. Okay, we have Linux. We have Xampp for OS. That's OS OS X. That will be Apple made operating system. That's Macintosh. Okay, what we'll be working on now, I will try to download the one that will be compatible with my computer, that my PC. That's Xampp for Windows. Okay, I'm just trying to show you how you can get this done. Okay, I already have this on my computer, so I will just show you an example, but I'm not going to download this. I'll just, when you just click save on this, like you can see Xampp Win32 installer.exe. Most of you are computer literate. Most of you have knows how to download and install files, or sorry, softwares on your computers. So this won't be difficult for you. You just save the file, and it will install. I need to download, then you install them. Most of you now don't install softwares on your PC, so that wouldn't be a problem. And if your installation is right, then when you just type localhost, you see something like this. Okay, when you install, now you first of all, all you have to do, you check for a control panel, or probably after installation you might see something like this. Oh, it's not here. Okay, let's search for Xampp control panel, open it. When you open it, the control panel will be opened, and if you're using this version of, I know the latest version will be something close to this, because I downloaded this early this year. Okay, the latest version, or probably if this is the latest version, it will still be the same thing as this, but even not, it's the difference will not be much. Okay, to start using PHP or using the server on your computer, you must first of all, sorry, it was on. Let me switch it. Let me restart it. Okay, for example, now this is, I have not started my SQL and Apache. Now let's try to run that localhost to see if it's gonna show up when the Apache and my SQL is stopped on the, is not started on the control panel. Okay, sorry, you're seeing that. Now unable to connect. Firefox can establish a connection to the server at 127.0.0.1. Okay, now let's start them Apache. Okay, okay, now that's cool. Now you can also start the MySQL. Now in the exam that we downloaded, the Apache we downloaded, the MySQL and PHP is bundled in the Apache. That means it's included there, so you don't need to download MySQL separately. Now all you have to do is just, when you download and install them, all you have to do is just start. You start the Apache and you start the MySQL, and it will start running. Now after that, you will check if you want to check if your MySQL is being installed, or if you have any problem to check if it's been installed properly. Sorry. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, okay, sorry, I know I've been breaking this. I just started recording videos, tutorials on YouTube, so I'm not gonna give you the best for now, but as time goes on, I'll do my best to make sure that everything comes out well, and the way I speak, everything cool. Okay, now localhost, my, sorry, php my admin, php my admin. Now let's wait and see. Okay, now we have your php my admin, where you can add database, you can add tables to your database, and create a database if you want to create a database to store information, or probably if when we'll be working on MySQL, saving data or collecting from informations from users and saving them in a database, then this is where we'll always come to check them out and do stuff like creating tables, inserting data, and stuff like that. Okay, now since we've now installed MySQL and PHP, and let's try to see if we can run a script, a PHP script, and view it in the browser. Okay, like I told you, I showed you in my previous video tutorials. I already created a folder in, sorry, I like music. Okay, and now for example, okay, now let me now guide you through how you can install, open a file, save files where you can view it in your browser, a PHP file where you can view it in your browser. Now you go to your local disk, like I said, go to your local disk, you see Xampp. I know in WAM it's close to that, but since you'll be watching my video tutorials, I advise you download and install Xampp so that you also follow along. You won't be having problem looking through session. So anything I do, you try to do them. Okay, now htdocs is where all your folders or files will be saved, will be stored. So now I created a folder inside Xampp and inside htdocs called YouTube. This YouTube folder is where all our tutorial series will be saved. So like I told you before, I'll be showing you guys jQuery. For those that are interested in learning jQuery, I'll also show you guys how you can write jQuery codes and jQuery codes. I will show you guys that too. And right now I'll be working on PHP. So now this is the first file we did the other time, so I'm gonna delete it and create a new one. So now you can do that, like create a new file by going to new, create text document, like say first PHP file .php. Like I told you before, the file extension is, you must make sure that the extension is .php. Okay, now there's that. So now let's try to open that on navigate to where the files are in our browser, localhost slash YouTube. Okay, now in this folder we have jQuery and we have PHP. So even now extend this. Okay, now this is our first PHP file. If you want to open that direct, we just type .php. Now the file is open. As you can see, there is nothing inside. So when we open that in our notepad, you discover that there's nothing inside it too. Okay, now let's do this. There's nothing inside. Now let's try to write a simple echo like what we did in the first tutorial and see if it's gonna open up. Like I told you, first of all, open the tag, PHP tag, like this, with a less than sign and a question mark and a PHP, a question sign, and greater than sign. Okay, now anything you type here will be the code that will run when you open on the browser. Like for example, like what I did previously, echo hello world. This is called the line terminator, telling you that's where it ends. That sentence, that's where it ends. Okay, now let's open it on the browser, or let's try to refresh this. Okay, we now have hello world displayed for us. Okay, Okay, but let's try to do something else. For example, let's say, sorry, I'm not done this with you yet, but I'm gonna show you. I'm trying to write a variable. Let's say first. Okay, let's say greetings. Greetings is equal to hello world. You must also add the line terminator. Okay, now echo greeting. Okay, now let's view it in the browser and see. I think it's still gonna be the same thing. Okay, you see that? Alright, that's our first PHP script. Now we've been able to view it in the browser and it's cool. Now you're gonna try that yourself, and my next video will come up very soon, anytime. Okay, now if you like what I'm doing, you subscribe to my channel, and if you have any question, you comment on the comment section, and I'll always come back to reply you. Okay, for now, practice this, install the Apache, and try to do the same thing I did, and very soon you'll be a PHP programmer. Thank you very much.